In today's video, I'm here with my friend Jordan Stein from Meprolite. You've seen some Meprolite on the channel. We are at Gunsite in Arizona. Oh yeah, and we're taking a church defense. I never get it right. Church defense class. So we thought Jordan had a good idea. Thought it'd be a good idea to kind of, since this is his first time to Gunsite, he wasn't sure what to bring, so he really didn't know. So thought we'd make a video on what we brought, maybe what some things that for sure that whether we brought them or not, maybe we should have. So that's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Today's video is sponsored by Hog Holsters. Hog Holsters are made in the USA in Arizona, and they are without a doubt the most comfortable concealable holster I've ever tested. You can save 10% on your order at Hog Holsters by using the coupon code Survival on Purpose, all one word. That's hogholsters.com. Thanks to Hog Holsters for sponsoring today's video. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Bryan. Thanks for joining me and Jordan Stein for today's video, where, as I said, maybe it's going to help you if you're thinking about coming to Gunsite, and if you get the opportunity, I highly recommend it. But kind of what we brought for the church protection. Did I get it right that
defense.
time? Church defense class. I got a mental block there. So anyway, Jordan, like I said, this is his first time, so we brought different setups. So I'll let Jordan take it away. Tell us about what you brought.
Yeah, so this was my first time at Gunsite, and let me just say, first of all, I've learned a lot. This has been fantastic instruction, and I highly recommend coming out here and getting training. And this is a great place to do it. With that said, I didn't know exactly what to bring, and that's not to say they didn't outline what to bring on their website and clearly, but between what I had and my normal setup, I wanted to bring more than what I needed just so I could have it, right? That whole prepared mindset, right? So I kind of brought two setups. The first 2 days I ran this battle belt setup. And we'll just start on this end and kind of work our way down. So
hold up where you can see it there.
So the belt is a Core Essentials battle belt. And you have an inner belt and an outer belt that Velcros on. And Core is really known for their clickable adjustments. And so that makes it very handy to, if you're sitting down, you can loosen it up, you stand up, and then you can tighten it back down. So I had no issues of it wobbling around. Everything was very secure. Everything stayed in place. So the belt is a fantastic platform. Up front, and this would be on my left side, my weak side, I have Victos gloves. I'm a big fan of Victos and that company. I think they make great apparel, great gear. I have a chest rig of theirs as well. Good stuff. So gloves up front on a D-ring just in case I need them. I believe this is an Essex mag carrier, and it's actually 2 pistol mags and a rifle carrier up front. But this glass is pistol only, so I'm actually running 2 pistol mags in the rifle mag carrier, and it works great. Like I said earlier, nothing's fallen out of this. It's all staying put, even in the rifle carrier, so it's super convenient with that. Behind that is a Streamlight flashlight. We're about to do some low light work, so it's handy to have another light there. Then we have a dump pouch from Blue Force Gear. That's really useful to keep extra beef jerky on you, because you always need some meat nearby. And then, holding your empty mags or anything else is just handy to keep that there. This is a Refuge Medical smaller back med kit. Of course, you have the tourniquet, easy access to that, more medical supplies within. It's always good to have medical stuff on you just in case something happens, but it's right there. Moving forward, you have a G-code hanger, and then I brought a couple of different holsters, but this is an omnivore. I brought a few different guns as well, so I wanted to be able to run everything, and it just makes it easy. And it does have some retention, which I do like. So that's the belt, and like I said, I ran that the first 2 days, loved it, but recently, I guess in the last 2 days, they've let us go from concealment. And as much as I love to LARP in the woods and walk around with this belt on and everything, I'm usually concealed when I'm out and about in public. So if you saw my EDC video on Meprolite's YouTube channel, then I run a T-Rex sidecar, and it's been a great holster. I've had this for a couple years now. Hardly any signs of wear, even with daily use. The thing just keeps plugging away. great holster there. Of course, it's in green. If you know me, I love my green, OD green, Ranger green, even Woodland Camo. Those are my favorites for sure. Also, gun-wise, I've been running a Shadow Systems DR920, which is their equivalent to like a G17 full-size firearm, and this thing's ran like a tank. It's more accurate than I am. It's been rocking and rolling. And then, of course, optics-wise, I do work for an optics company, so I run some optics. I'm running our MPO Pro F that is in a closed emitter. And usually for my EDC, I run the MPO F, which is an open emitter. But out in this very dusty, windy environment, I'm actually glad that I have an enclosed emitter. I don't have to worry about the dot not being there. And this thing's ran like a champ. It's held 0. We actually checked our 0 halfway through the course, and it was still pretty much right on. And that's been fantastic as well. I'm also running our new Glock backup iron sights. So we actually came out with iron sights to co-witness with our MPOs. And that keeps a very uncluttered sight picture. So you have your dot and just a co-witness, a lower third co-witness, so you don't have a very busy sight picture. Also, it only has tritium in the front. It's a blacked out front sight and no tritium in the rear, which is serrated, which again keeps everything simple. You can focus on the dot. And again, if for some reason, if the dot goes out, which hasn't happened to me so far, you have the backup irons and you're good to go. So that's what I have. And it's worked pretty well. I do like running concealment wise. It's been very practical, especially in a church defense scenario. So that's what I got.
Cool. So, and I'll be honest with you, when I first saw this, I thought, man, that's a lot of stuff there. But there actually were several other people in the class that had battle belts. You know me, I'm just a regular little old dude but I'll show you what I'm rocking, and then we'll go over a couple more details and wrap the sucker up, because there's some things that are not necessarily firearms related that you're going to want to bring with you. So I'm going to stand up so I don't have to take this off. I'm carrying a Ruger RXM with a Meprolite. You have to tell me which number is in this one.
It is the MPO-F.
MPO-F, so it's an open emitter, and I like it because it has a circle dot reticle. You can have a dot, you can have a circle, or you can have a bullseye with a circle and a dot in the middle of it. And then this is, of course, my Hog Holsters outside the waistband range holster. I've got a Wilderness Tactical, I think it's Wilderness Tactical Instructor's belt on. I won't talk about clothes, and then I've got a couple of extra mags here, and I got a couple of extra mags in my pocket. And then, that's pretty much as far as the gear I'm carrying for Gunsite. But I also brought an appendix rig, but the first day I ran it, so it's just a little bit, there's a 5-day class. So the first 2 days, we were outside the waistband. Typically in the 250 class, everybody is outside the waistband. They don't do inside the waistband. But as this is a church class, it's a little more advanced, and they know people are not carrying mostly outside the waistband. You're not wearing battle belts, and I wouldn't wear a holster like this at church, so they adapted it. But I'll be honest, this dot it's taken me a little time to get used to, because this is the first time I've really run much with the red dot. And as the weeks progress, I'm getting more and more used to it, and I'm liking it more and more, because not to sound braggy, but on the second day with the dot, they have a shoot off. They have this daily shoot off. There's a big one tomorrow on Friday, but for some strange, crazy reason, I actually won the shoot off with it. When Chuck Norris was in school, his teachers raised their hand to talk to him. Really, for me, what I like about the dot is, and this is not really a dot video, but the Meprolite especially, I like the reticle with I like the circle and dot.
The bullseye, yeah.
The bullseye.
We call it a bullseye.
Jordan just uses a dot. For me, I can really see that, and I can center that on my target. And what I like about it versus iron sights is, especially I'm wearing these progressive lenses you've heard me talk about before, is I don't have to line up this with this and get it perfect. All I got to do is, if I've got it zeroed correctly, I put the dot on the thing, press the thing, and the thing comes out and hits where the dot was. In other words, your point of aim and your point of impact is really, really fast to acquire once you get used to seeing that dot. And that's just nothing but reps. I mean, it's like anything else. You got to practice, like you did when you learned to use iron sights. So, but it really is helping me a lot.
It is definitely a transition to go from irons to a dot. You know, I've done that many, many moons ago. I've been a dot shooter for a while, but and that's the cool thing about our MPOs is you have 3 different reticle options. You have the bullseye reticle, you have the outer ring, and the dot. Like I said, I'm running just the dot because that's what works for me. Anything more kind of gets too busy, and he's running the bullseye, and he's winning, you know, shooting competitions with it.
I'm shooting better now, and I've got my excess big dot sights on here, suppressor height sights that I can co-witness, and they're great, but and just in case, because 2 is 1, 1 is none, right? You got to be prepared. But if something happens to the dot, but I'm not using them. I'm using the dot, and it's working excellent, excellent. So anyway, that's the firearm specific gear. A couple other things, and they have a list of this on the website, so I won't go into all that. You can check it out. But a good hat, sunglasses, all that stuff. But I don't know if this is on the website, but sunscreen, and they say lots of water. I personally brought some hydration powder packets, like Liquid IV or something, whatever that is, because when you're here, it's very, very dry. We're around a mile high, about almost 5,000 feet high, 5,000 feet high. The air's really dry, so you're sweating, but you don't really know it because it's evaporating as fast as you can sweat. So you don't really feel like, oh man, I'm sweating out. But you definitely get dehydrated.
Yeah.
And you got to get those electrolytes because you're sweating them out of your body.
And I will say, especially if you're a good old Southern boy like we are, you know, you're used to sweating in the humidity. It's not humid out here. So you don't really sweat that often, and you don't know that you're losing fluid. So you have to keep drinking and keep drinking and keep drinking.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of and look, get on the website. If you got any questions, leave your comments. I'll try to answer them because this is my second trip out here. And man, it's a great place. I like it a lot. I mean, if you got the opportunity to come to Gunsite, I highly recommend it. Hopefully this video has been helpful in giving you ideas what to bring. And if you have any more questions, put them in the comments section below. Jordan and I want to answer them. So that's it. Thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident. So be prepared and get some training. I'll see you next time.